And hello, beautiful people. We are here, and right now we are on to the second match in Snipe Series Clash. And at the same time, the TK Bhai are on to the blue side. They have the first pick as well. And let's not forget, right? Waste Respect is on to the red side, and as well, both the teams will ban those high mobility heroes, especially that Van and Lance and the biases, right? He is a farming demon. He will be taking away all the farms. Like he's already gonna be level 15 when the clock hits that 11-minute mark. If it's untouched, that's the thing, right? That, the thing is, TK Bhai, they have the first pick, right? And they are banning that YSS. So they don't want to contest for that YSS because I think it's a little strange, right? Because honestly, you should go for that YSS, especially when you have the first pick. You have to abuse that meta pick as well. And the thing is, with respect, they should realize that the Uranus and the Lapu Lapu is open, and it is an HP meta, right? And they will be banning a Baxia here with that passive, with that inbuilt anti-heal, anti-heal ult. It's a solid ban, because let's be honest, a Baxia and a YSS combo does go way too far. Even a Batsia and a Kimi, right? A Kimi onto the mid lane is dangerous. And right now, TK Bhai, they are planning about that ban. And what should they ban, right? What should they prioritize first? They can go for a mage onto that Farsa, onto the first pick, and be secure because the mid lane pressure will be important, especially onto the early games when the rotation is high, when the neutral objectives are quite difficult. Take Bhai here were taking a time, but they will ban that Farsa here as they will be banning that Farsa here. And so, what are they contesting for? Are they going for Uranus and a Lapu Lapu onto the first pick? But that will just disrespect that Kimi here, and even the respective bands, right? Where the Zacian is there, the Zacian will provide the support. She will provide the utilities, and it is looking at little grim here, especially the bands, right? If we look at that, all the high mobility bands has been banned, and they will ban a glue here. So Waste Respect can get to meta heroes, especially that Lapu Lapu and a Kimi. Right now, what will they favor? That's the thing, right? Think high. Like this is what their draft was planning for. They can go for Uranus. Uranus does do good, especially onto the late game. He is the perfect sandbag, perfect punching bag. He will just soak away all the damage, and with that healing spell, he will heal himself and your teammates as well. And he does have that mobility X2 still, where he can just dash away. But now a Zochin onto the first pick here for TK Bhai. So no more meta picks here, and that's kind of surprising here. Okay, Ranger. Even the Ranger MM onto the first pick when the Airtel is open. Shin will go for the Kalia. Okay, a Kalia here, and maybe an Airtel, because let's be honest, the Ranger has been shown here. You have to pick the counters here if you want to win, especially at this stage when it is a knockout. But no, TK Bhai will go for the. They are hovering over the Lapu Lapu. They want the Lapu Lapu, and look at the armor of the Lapu Lapu. It's way too big. It's way too big. You don't have to make it that big. That's the thing, right?
This land is our homeland, and it will soon be your burial ground.
And the Lapu Lapu will get picked. The Uranus here is looking strong, especially with the healing spell here. But with respect, they will be going for the Matilda Airlines because the Fedwin is kind of, a little slow. And he needs to, get that dashes. The dashes are important. That's what they matter. And the bans are there as well. Will they make a playing field for the MM? Because, yeah, look at that. The Rethel will get banned here. So it's on point. The one that Ranger 2 get fed. And I think the TK Bhai, they might have lost that opening to zone out that Ranger to have him onto the back foot here and get that. The thing about Ertl is she does have that mobility, right? Especially onto that sprint when she runs all around you with that heavy crossbow. Every single thing will melt, especially your backliners, especially your damage providers. Even the Fredman onto the late game will get melted. But look at that, Zacian will get banned here. Take care, bhai. They don't want that utility mages onto the mid lane, but right now Satoru from Where's Respect, he will have the last ban. Hmm. He will have the last ban, right? And will we see another ban? Because for the last ban, they had an Irithel ban, so they want that to have a safe, a safe area to have that power spike here to carry him, because Fedwin and the Matilda will be the perfect signing ban, and but no, they won't ban here. They won't ban here. And look at that, the Uranus will get banned. So take a bye. They don't want to contest for it. They don't want to give the enemy that Uranus, especially after they missed the last ban. So that might be bad here. Hmm. The thing is, where's respect? They are definitely taking their time here onto the draft, and they will go with the Faramis here onto the mid lane.
To live is to trick the Reaper.
This is kind of tricky here. Faramis onto the mid lane will provide the survivability. Will have that at the same time. They will have that, right? They will have that survivability. They will have that shadow realms at the moment. Hmm. But the problem here is gonna be the thing is they are kind of the damage dealers are the Fedman, right? And the sustain is definitely there, but the damage dealers.
Welcome to the land of dawn.
Okay, we are gonna see the Faram is made by damage from the guy. No, right? They have a Mincy hero. They have a Mincy. Mincy is insane, but look at that. The Atai Hyper is there, by. Ish. The Apai Hyper. I don't know if it's gonna work. But at the same time, right, they have the Beatrice. The Beatrice will player 456. Sadly, he didn't survive the Squid Games on the season 3. So let's see. But look at that. Got the Kacha here onto that the retribution. So Satoru kind of he kind of we can see he kind of he kind of crawl into the run game with that got the Gacha onto that hyper. That's why the hyper is there. Ish. Tenpachi here is waiting with that girl's profile picture. I think that's a girl profile picture, right? Want to be a she here, and we will be moving towards the land of dawn. Let me just show you my perfect stinger here. Look at that animation, a beautiful animation as well. And we will be into the land of dawn here. Both the teams, man, they have drafted wonderfully. The thing is, they drafted quite good here. And right now, it is up to that execution. Hmm. The thing is, will they be able to provide that execution? Because it's all about the execution at the end of the day, right? Okay, we are here onto the land of dawn, and this is gonna be the game match number 2 here onto the SNYPE series day 2. And both the teams will help their hyper. The Fedwin does need that, onto the early game farming speed, but look at that. The 4 people will help. Zushin is there. The Promise is on to the mid lane, right? He will struggle a little bit. That's the thing. Okay, look at that Justin on to that XP lane as well. Yeah, they will go. They are contesting for that XP lane, but at the same time, look at the player 456. He is onto the bush, onto the bad bush. He does have the flicker as well to escape. Ranger checking that bush. The lane freeze is there. The lat hit. The thing is, they need to hit the lat hits, right? Especially the MM. And Ranger did find them. Look at that beat press providing that damage. Matilda realized that the blue buff has not been taken, and Fatman does have both the buffs. So yeah, he does have the higher rotation here right now. Matilda can go down. The heal from the killer was there. And look at that beat press already checking the bushes. Okay, the Talia jumps onto the Matilda airlines, and the Fredman will be the one to get to that level 4 way sooner than Akai. But no, look at the Akai. He is level 4 as well. He went to the bottom lane to get the extra farm to reach. Eesh. I'm not a lolly, man. I'm not a lolly. And look at that Zushin. Zushin can go down, especially if the taunt is there. The taunt is there. They need a slap here. The slap kind of misses. Akai uses that Beyblade move. The pin wall is there as well. Kalia joins the fight here. Faram is trying to grab them, but now Matilda Airlines provides that dash, but Faram can go down. He was there to survive. He was there, He was there. To save his friend, but he was the one to get slain. That was the first blood here. Katrakacha providing that vision. He is ahead onto that XP as well. The AOG can connect. The perfect AOG here can help them seal the law. The bush shit is not there, right? The bush shit is not there. The AOG should commit. Just pop that AOG, right? The taunt here onto that two people is insane. But where are Akai gets the turtle here? But they want more. बहुत बुरा ठीक है भाई here. Will contest for more. Lapu onto that Mr. Bone. Mr. Bone is crushing down. Kalia kidnaps that Faramis there. The Faramis is not level 4. He died 2 times and the Faramis is not level 4. Sunny, you're not Yul is watching over you. Arey bhai. Yeah, bhai. Any giveaways? Sadly, there are no giveaways at the moment. At the same time, they are letting that Ranger farm, right? The Ranger is harassing that player 456. Sab akele hi hai bhai. Look at that. The Talia will escape here. Okay. Even the Ranger, right? He is harassing. The lane clearance is there. And they can contest onto the top lane. Especially when the Matilda is there. Faramis does have the level 4 here. The Fedwin is going there. Urza Sartlet will get CC'd here. Even the Talia trying to defend. But now, Matilda Airlines always with the dash. They can go for the blue buff. I think. No. They can, especially when they got that Kalia here. The stun is there as well. Kalia out of position. Fedwin taunt will they receive? But no, Fedwin gets kidnapped here. Matilda can let him escape. The internal damness is here, but they are stuck to a wall here. The dash is there as well, but where are the damage dealers? They need the damage dealer. Matilda pops it out. Dacian goes down. Lapu joins the fight. This might be bad, but the slap is there. AOG misses completely. This might be deadly, but look what Ranger is here onto the back line. Akai can go down. Beatwitch pops a beautiful ult. Uses that ult again, but there is no damage dealers. 5v4, they got the better trade here. They got the better trade. They are in a situation to trade the turtle. They can. The thing is, बहुत ठीक है भाई. They kind of gave over the lead. Bears respect are in the lead here. They are on the roll advantage, especially after this turtle. Look at the Ranger providing the damage. They are onto the Jushin as well. Matilda Airlines providing the dashes, and Fedwin will secure that turtle. So the goal lead is gonna be 1k here. Sunny, any giveaway? There are no giveaways, sadly. There are no giveaways, man. We might see a tank onto the top lane. Even the Faramis is rotating there, and look at that lethal contest. The thing is, in this patch, lethal is way too important. He will provide the vision, and he will provide an area of vision, right? So that's the thing. Ludo game, and look at that. The Faramis goes down. The Faramis is not. The thing is, the Faramis mid lane might be a pretty pit because the Faramis won't, he won't be able to do anything until the late game. And in the late game, the Faramis will shine. But right now, TK Bhai, they do realize that, and yeah, they want to capitalize on this and waste respect. The thing is, they're playing it safe, right? They are still under the goal lead. Having that Faramis die 3 times, right? All the kills are of that Faramis, so the mid lane is kind of feeding. If this was a ranked game, the Faramis would have been trolled and he would have told for real. But that's a part of the strategy. Lapu Lapu on their bad side here. Faramis onto the mid lane bush. They were trying to bait them out, but now TK Bhai realized this and they will not contest. But at the same time, top lane can go down because we might see a failed gank there. But the tower is not looking healthy. Couple of hits and it will go down. Kalia, they're onto the bush as well. Will use that. Okay, but no. Zoshin trying to get that vision onto the bush. But look at that. Satoru gets caught here. He runs away. Zoshin might be too good, but look at that. Zoe providing that chip damage. Jotokala joins the fight. He is onto the bush. He will get kidnapped here. He does have that AOG. Will he guess? But no. Internal ramp comes from Lapu Lapu onto the backside. But look at that. They are inside the turret here. The AOG misses because the Lapu Lapu was immune. And they will be pushing the top lane. Fedwin onto the perfect position here. He can connect onto the back line. He is onto the back line here. But now he runs away. Even the Lapu Lapu jumps. It's a 5-man fight. Beatrice will clear his lane. And they are soaking up the damage here. The Fedwin might be deadly. The ult is there. The taunt is there as well. Mathilda Airlines providing the dash. He does have that stun. A 2-man stun can be possible. No. Kalia goes down. Lapu Lapu still sustaining. The slap is there. A tight slap onto that Beatrice. And the Beatrice goes down. But the Lapu Lapu is still hunting. Ranger, this might be dangerous, right? Especially because it's a Lapu Lapu. The sustain is there. But no, the Ranger damage is insane. Mathilda providing that dashes. Where's respect? They have the lead. After having the Ranger die 3 times, right? Okay, they gets that Ranger here. No. Now the Ranger can go down, but no. He survives because of that Faramis here. He is onto the hunting ground. Player 4-5 hits and retreats back, but Mathilda, they might have overextended here, and TK Bhai will punish them for this. Where's respect? You cannot give them the openings. They kind of threw the match right there, but right now onto the bottom lane, they are providing the damage. The taunt, the CC is there. Akai does have that ult. Will pop that ult. The slap is there from the Fedman, right? The slap is there. The flat will be the deadly. But look at that. The Lapu Lapu joins there. The slap is there. Akai gets melted. And Lapu Lapu might get melted as one. But Halal, he is on to them. But look at that. TK Bhai will take all the tricks. They will take the turret. The CC is there with that Kalia. They sacrifice, but the Faramis goes down yet again. They were trying to push a top lane. Ranger harassing them. The damage. Damage is another, like the damage. Look at the damage from the Ranger. We hardly see some damage. Even the Fedwin is here. So right now they will push the top lane. That's what it feels like. Ish, look at that. The Zoshin goes down yet again. Okay, look at the damage onto that Lapu Lapu. We hardly see a Lapu Lapu go down, right? And especially when he gets melted there, they are onto the bad lane. The COC is there. They try to steal that, but no, the Fedwin will get that red tree. Look at that. The internal flame is there. Forearm is finally doing his thing, and TK Bhai are getting melted down here. The AOG connects as well, so that's good. Red set start system goes down. Will they find that? They will find that. And they are trying to melt. The Tide does not have that ult, and he will get melted as well. They needed to gun that Zoe because look at that Zoe 812. The Faramis was the bait. Meanwhile, the Zoe, the Ranger onto the first pick as well. So they did had that confidence, right? MM onto the first pick. It's either you're gonna spam the enemies or you're gonna feed, and Zoe onto that ranger, and even the Airtel was there, right? But I think it's about the hero pools, right? TK bhai didn't have that hero pools, and I think they will get suffer for that. And look at that, they are clearing the range. They need to rush this. They don't want to waste the time. It feels like Fedwin trying to take the buff. Matilda providing that vision, providing the dasher, so they won't be. The Taylor gets that CC. They are onto that, but look at that internal frame gets that. Promise is actually working. Fedwin onto them. They will go for the turret, but no, the turret shit might help them. The AOG onto the back line here. Two people get stuck here. Turret still is healthy. They are soaking up the turret damage. They need to wait. This might be a throw here. Where is Fed? But no, Gatukacha sustaining. The next batch of minions will be deadly, especially when they're resting on screen. And right now, where's Respect? They are not contesting for this, it seems, right? Ish, look at that. That's a perfect gan there. Like, look at that. Both the teams, they are using that bush. They do realize they're not even contesting for the red buff here. TKY, they do realize that they need to. The Zushin is the beard there. Will they take the beard? That's the thing. But now look at that ranger onto the bush here. They will get that Foramis here. Foramis doesn't have that damage at the moment. The backliners did escape. And Lapu Lapu will be jumping all over them. And look at that. Who will protect the backline here? The Kaliat gets melted down. AOG onto the bad side here. Team TK is taking melted. They are getting the Kacha, but no, Atai is just running away. Beatrice damage is not there. The damage. Look at the beautiful damage there, but she needs that more damage. Even the Zushin damage is not there, right? That's the thing. And yeah, look at that. Where's Respect will go for that Lord. They need to end the game. And they realize that because as it goes late, the Beatrice damage will be there. For Ram is swapping up the damage. He is a little low, but Gatugacha pops that healing spell here. And even the Lord will get melted here. This might be the final stand here for TK Bhai. They do have the synergy. They need that damage, and I think they will be able to provide the damage, right? They should. They have the Zushin. Okay, another beautiful team fight here. They are on to that Fedwin. Fedwin can go down here. Will he go down? Will he survive? But no, he survives on that splitter of HP. But this is an opening here. TK Bhai can defend this, but look at that. The turret will fall, and as soon as the turret falls, the barrage of enemies will come towards them. They are onto that base as well. Kalia jumps that, will trying to kidnap, but no. Fedwin CC is a ranger providing that damage, and at the same time, Matilda is providing that shield one after another. TK Bhai is taking melted. The frozen crown is there. Even the freeze, even the immortality, so the fast hand is there for Team Where's Respect. There are no minions. They are inside the turret. This might be bad because the turret is marking them. But no, the Faramis runs away. Look at the HP. The HP is low, so they had the chance there. But no, they will be marking that minions here. Eesh. They are recalling, and Where's Respect will move towards round number 2 here. That was a nice match, and honestly, with that slither of HP, right, it kind of looked hard because a little star Pearson in every single one of them, a little sustain. And the thing is, Where's Respect, they realize that if they drag this match on, they might lose here. And we will be proceeding with the next match. It is going to be between Villagers versus Aram Beta Bill. Uh, villagers, and what was the team name? Let me just look. Arapil Day-2. There you go. The follow back is there. My limit has been reached surprisingly. Eesh. I have to unfriend some of them. Then she's sadly I have to unfriend you. Error TM is the pajama boy. Now we will have the toss as well. And our tails for toss. It's tails to server of pick.
The southern seas are my domain.
And here we are, match number 3, and it is gonna be between villagers and Aram Pelneteko APT. And onto the left side we have APT, and onto the right side we have Team Villagers. And look at the drafting, they will be banning that Kadita. So they don't want the squishy wombo combos coming over. Kadita onto the mid lane with that petrified is a nuisance, and especially onto the mid lane, right? The thing is, she will be camping onto those bushes and will definitely meditate your mid lane, even your hyper, even your like this. She is going to be that slippery slope, right? She is hard to catch as well because of the S1. And look at that, the glue will get banned here as well for APT, but at the same time, the Batsia, this is the second time we are seeing a Batsia ban here, and that too onto the first page here. So yeah, they don't want that Batsia. The thing is, the Batsia does have that inbuilt anti-heal as well, so it is a nuction, especially that passive. The passive, he does get tankier and tankier, right? And let's not forget that mobility, right? S1, and he will be all over the map. So yeah, Kate here from Team Villagers. Well, what will they ban? Because the Uranus is open, the Lapu Lapu is open, even the Kimi is open, right? What will they ban? They will be banning that Badang here. Okay. A Badang here does sound good. Like the Badang will punch them towards the wall, will provide that CC, and Badang, even after the nerfs, right, he is still good with some synergies. He definitely survives, and let's not forget, right, he does have that shield, he does have that dash, and he does have that barrage of punches that he just provides. And Akalia will get banned here. That's kind of strange shit coming from APT. The Kalia, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think so. It's ban worthy, right? She can target only one of the opponents, and that too, you need to have a perfect flicker ult, right? You need to have a perfect flicker ult onto the bat lane, and that's the only thing she can do. It's like kind of like a suicide mission right there. But then again, a Kalia ban, if they think it's good, it might be good. They might be going for that burst synergy. They might be going for that Harriet or something like that, and they don't want to waste that purify spell, right? It's either ban the Kalia or use that spell slot for something else rather than that purify here. And the Saint one here is from the villagers, the last ban, and it will be the Farsa man. So yeah, two mages getting banned straight away. So the mid lane few is there, especially the burst type mages and the snowball mages here. And Senji here onto the first bit. The Uranus was open, but they are hovering.
Let's go.
They were hovering over that Jane, but now they will go with that Erythel onto the first bit. What are these guys like? Last match we saw Ranger onto the first bit, and he carried his team. The damage was insane. He was zoning out every single one, and the poke was on point here. But they are opening up that Uranus. They're opening up the Lapu Lapu. But the thing is, Uranus and Lapu Lapu, right? Both of them are. Oh, we totally forgot about the YSS. The reward YSS is insane, especially after that stun. Like the stun is the stun is good, right? The YSS does have the mobility, and the stun is just cherry onto the top. And this is going to be the match number 3 here, and it is going to be between APT, Aram Pelne Terko, and the Team Villagers, and they will go for a Phobius as well. So this just tells you, right? See, they are going for a habit onto the MM lane. That's what they feel like. But Senji here onto that Yin. Yin does what, but the thing is, Yin early game, if he gets invaded, it's gonna be tough, right? And early game is kind of looking strong, especially when the enemy have their biases. Even the Phobius, right? The Phobius is way too tanky. That's the thing. But look at that 2 MM synergy here for the team APT. They will be going for that Kimi. And for the XP laner, right? They do realize that the Phobius is the XP laner. CC here can work. But we just have to see it because the Uranus is open as well, right? Uranus will be the punching bag, but they will not have any utilities, only a punching bag with 0 utilities. They will be going for the Daddy Fedwin as well. They are showing up their hyper way too early because let's be honest, the Hayabusa was open. YSS kind of counters, but not they're turning, right? It's a little hard, and because the Xbox is still there, right? Phobius can go for that roam, especially when the enemies have 2 right? So they do have a little disadvantage onto the late game. And Borg here can work, can well melt. But Keith here, will they go for the even the Vices can go for the goal lane if they want to be real festival, right? If they want to, that's the thing. And Borg with the Matilda. And Matilda Airlines is still there, so the mobility will be there, but no. Deadly here will go for that 1-1. So yeah, they wanted to go for that 1-1. That's why they wanted to go for a 1-1. That's why they banned that Badan. They banned that Varsa, and they will be going for that progress onto the second pit here. But no, look at that. The second phase of banning is here. And yeah, team villagers, what will they ban? The thing is, the sandbats are left, right? The damage soaking heroes are left. Hunter here and Vampire, they will be the sandbats for Team APT. They will have. Gatukacha is there, right? Gatukacha will sustain. Even the Belgrade will sustain. What hands are all left? Even the Tidwell sets are there, right? And look at that, they will be banning Gatukacha. The thing about Gatukacha is his defense is way too good, and right now they are lacking that magic defense. And the Zacian will get banned. So yeah, Team APTA, they do realize the mid lane hasn't been picked. Even the roam is not picked. So yeah, Team Villagers, they cannot ban all the rooms, right? Because they do have a room pick as well. And the Uranus is still open. They can go for a Uranus with a blade armor. Then the Team APT, they will have a tough time. The blade armor is way too good. Blade armor onto that Uranus against a Kimi is just way too deadly. It reminds me of a friend as well. And it's a real man. He died, man. He died to a blade armor. Uranus, he kept on hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. It's way too much. It's way too much. You don't do that against a Uranus. That's the thing.
Always on the way. Your team is banning.
And we will see Matilda Airlines taking bans. So yeah, no mobility here for the Fedrin at the moment. And at the same time, that's the thing, right? They won't be able to have that Matilda for themselves as well, because they would have been insane with the dashes, with the hail, and with the CC as well. The damage onto that Matilda is way too good, especially onto the late game. And look at that, the Minotaur is there. Okay, they will ban a Minotaur. That's strange. A Mino will give them an advantage, especially onto the early game, because they can just build that Mino. Mino is not built for the early game, man. He just gets melted and melted and melted.
When you gaze into the abyss,
The abyss gazes back.
And we are gonna see a Selena onto the mid lane here for the Team Villagers. No way, they did went for the Selena here, and they are hovering over a Zilon. APT, they are hovering over Zilon. A Zilon against Apovius. Yeah, exactly. They will change here. Vampire with that Pufra as well. The Selena will be shooting on those abyssal arrows into the late game like a machine gun. But no, the front laners are looking a little squishy. Like the front laners are not there, right? The Phobias cannot sustain, especially against 2 MMCC Pufra. Even that Fedwin, he will just get that chain CC right there. And look at that, they do have 3 of the Sandbass as well, right? They have a Fedwin, they have a CC, they have a Vampire onto that Pufra. So they will be sustaining that damage way too good. That's what it feels like. Richie here is taking his time, trying to find that perfect roam here. And honestly, what is open? It is gonna be the Tidwell. Even the Uranus roam right could have worked because they just needed to soak the damage. But Zymon here onto that Tidwell. He needs to provide those sets. He needs to sustain the damage because let's be honest. He will get melted, especially onto the early game. Kimmy already onto that Purify, so the respect is there. Right now, we just have to see how it goes. Now, both the teams are drafted to their best capabilities, but at the end of the day, it's about the execution, it's about the synergies, and let's not forget, it's about that wombo combos, especially at this stage when it is best of one, and a single mistake will lose your slot there. And looking at the beautiful stints as well, and honestly, the Kimi onto that Star Wars stint is the favorite. Even the sound effects are way too good. And we are here on to the land of dawn. Both the teams drafted to their best capabilities will have their hyper here as well. And it's a heartwarming sight, right? The teams help in their hyper. They just need they're like just help us onto the early game and we will carry the game. But YSS is there, right? So his farming is going to be seen, especially with that Selena here. Selena does have that massive damage, and they are already done with the blue buff here. Look at that. YSS done with that blue buff. Even the Fedrin is halfway through, so that's it. A little skirmish onto the mid lane. The stun gets mates YSS moving towards his red buff. And Fedrin still onto this red buff here. The Kufra will give an early rotation onto the top lane. Diddy should realize that the jump is there. There is no purify inbuilt purify onto the Van yet because of the level 4. YSS gets that level 3 as well. He is going towards that. The Kufra can go down, especially because he doesn't have that level 2 to turn onto the ball and get that extra defense. Okay, Kufra jumps onto that Diddy. He might miss his minions here, especially that mage minion. Will he go for that? It might be a death sentence if he goes because that's an Irithel. Irithel, yeah, gets that second skill here. And it will be the Sanila who goes down here onto that Kimi. Yeesh. Okay, Team Villagers gets that stun onto them. The Tit will finally gets that set here. And right now, APT can go down there. That's a trade. 2-5 is the score. They do have the goal lead, but let's not forget they have 2 MMs, right? APT, they have the 2 MMs. They have the late game synergy. Fedrin will be the sandbag here. The stun misses onto that Kimi. They will get the blue buff, but it is going to be the other slap. Gets onto that Gritty here. Shinji trying to get that kill. He will get that kill surprisingly. But no, YSS scales onto the 1 HP. But no, look at that. Phobius might be the one to go down. He goes down. But look at that. The YSS did survive, right? So, XP lane of 1 and Hypo. I will take that trade any day. Okay, the 2 fraud did jump there. The total contest is there, but at the same time, the Fedman was the last one. This might be a bad thing because look at that, the slap was there. Van trying to jump away, Kate unable. But at the same time, even the APT, they are able to come back. The thing is, even the Selena was having a hard time against that Kufra. And that jump was perfect. Tidwell initiated onto that Fedman. Was able to get that Fedman all alone. And they will get the bottom lane turret here, but they are letting that Van. That's might be troubling, right? They are letting that Van farm up, and the Van farm up will he is already on to that, but now Shizun here will provide the perfect damage. Okay, look at that Tidwell. He did manage to get that Kufra, so the Kufra won't be able to jump. The Selena Abyssal was missing, but the vision is there. That's the thing, right? The Selena will be providing that vision. It's 2 MMs, right? 2 MMs are always going to be better. Okay, look at that. They are getting the vision of the Kufra, so the Kufra cannot jump. APT here can contest for the mid lane, but now they will just take the objectives and they will go back. That was a good trade. The third turtle will spawn as well. Okay, the stun is there. Kimi providing that vision. The Saint one is already low. The CC will melt them, but the flitter ult is there. He is already onto that Kimi. Yet again, they are zoning that Kimi. One more hit and the Kimi will go down. But no, the perfect stun was there. The turret damage is there and the backline is falling down. Van gets taken down. Double kill there. Fedrin will take that turtle as well. This might be a feint. Dan, the Kimi was zoned out perfectly, but that just opens up the front lane, right? Because let's be honest, Treadwell cannot sustain the damage, especially onto the early game. Okay, Kufra jumps. Some might get caught here. The Van needs to pull up their sauce. He needs to carry the team. But I just noticed both the teams have 2 MMs here. So they both have the late game potential. But I'm going to go towards the side of APT. They do have that Kimi and Irithel, man. They will melt everything. And they should melt everything as well. Even the Phobius, man, he have to run away. The Abyssal Arrows get stuck onto that CC. So Abyssal Arrows with that a little bit damage can work out here for the team villagers. They just need to hold on for the late game because Kate here will be spamming that Abyssal Arrows. So you can point on and look at that Kimi. Not even that Kimi. Look at that Van. She will push the top lane. Top lane should fall on. One more hit. One more hit, and yeah, the perfect zone out was there. That's just some extra trash line there for the team villagers. They are onto that Zymon here, and even the Tufra is providing the damage. The stun is there onto the Tufra. Will they contest for the Tufra can give that Van ult. The Van does pop that ult. If that Tufra dies, the Van ult will get reset, but no, it will be the Phobius who goes down here. The conceal has been popped. Selena hits that stun as well. It is inside the turret. CC might go down, but no, it will be the Tidwell. They are getting melted down. The damage dealers were not there. Another beautiful stun there. But the thing is, they need that damage. They need that AOG. Even the Tidwell is getting melted down. It is a magic damage onto that game. She already have that two items, and she is onto that third one. And right now, without wasting your time, APT will go for that Lord here. They do realize they are in the advantage, so they will. And look at that, the slap is there as well. They secure the Lord. They might be pushing to win this with this Lord, because the thing is that turret shield is there, right? There's gonna be hectic. It's gonna be hectic, especially when they have even the Phobius. What's the Phobius build? He doesn't have the main core items, and it's the Kimi, right? It is the Kimi who is melting them. Let's not forget the CC is there as well. The lane sync is there as well. Look at that. They will be syncing the lanes as well. Hunter here onto the bottom lane. They want the mid lane will be free. It's a little late. It seems like the lane won't get perfectly synced, but the next lane will be. And look at that. Team villagers, they are onto the bad foot. They do realize they have the turret shield, and they will utilize that fully. Look at that YSS, even chipping that damage. Even the Van is there as well. Tufra jumps, misses completely. They were onto the right bush as well. Tufra soaking up the choke damage. And the tower shield will take out that Lord. But it's always a next batch of minions, right? It's the next batch of minions that will be hurtful here. Tufra will be stretching up for the jump here. They are initiating a look at that team villagers. They do realize that. But now the MMs, they are taking out the turret. The next match of minions are here as well for the top lane. A team fight is there. Phobius jumping around. But there are no damage dealers. Phobius goes down. The top lane turn cat go down as well. But the Van will get that. There are no minions, right? And the Van gets that kill onto that Aerithil, but will get caught here. She is trying to run away. The flicker has been used onto that Van. And yeah, they were able to get that one turret. They were able to get that kill here. And look at the damage. They need that magic defense, man. They need that magic defense. The TV is melting them out. That's the thing. Ish, look at that Van will push onto the top lane. Okay. Ish, that's a godlike coming onto that Aerithil. Not even the Aerithil, it is onto that fear, onto that Kimi. So yeah, they need that magic defense here, it feels like. Okay, the slap is there. And they get a kill as well. Yeesh. The van when trying to jump away, but now APTA will get this win and they will be moving towards the round number 2.
Victory!
And yeah, I think it is up to that Kimi, right? 11.6, 906. He even built that Sky Piercer. So yeah, 906. And look at that. They were going for that magic defense, but it was way too late. And yeah, we will be right back with a short break.